Hello guys, happy baby name Monday. I hope you're good. I hope you're ready for some unique names with the most beautiful meanings. This was a requested video in the comments from a couple of weeks ago, so thank you so much. Do keep requesting name lists. I will always research them. This name list is beautiful. I think name meanings really can speak to your soul in a way, even just obviously it has to sound pretty, the name, but I think there's a gorgeous meaning. It can really take you from liking a name to really loving it for a lifetime. So I found loads of unique names. I think I've got about 17. I'm going to go girl, boy. If you're into names and their meanings, then hit subscribe. I'm here every Monday with name inspiration. There's also a podcast. So if you're stuck for a name, you can email me. My email is in the description. And ask me anything, and that goes on to our podcast, which is called Baby Name Envy, which is all that kind of dilemmas, which is lots of fun as well. So these names are from all over the world, and the first name is totally unranked. It is a Hawaiian name. They have amazing nature name meanings, and it's Lulua Ina. So that's how it would look in Hawaiian with a little apostrophe, Lulua Ina. It's such a gorgeous name. Names ending INA. If you went with the whole thing, it's quite long. The only way this is ever ranked in the UK was Lulua, and they put an H at the end to be like Sarah with an H at the end, Lulua, and that's still totally unranked. It comes with the nickname Lulu, which is stunning, and the name meaning is freckled. Isn't that just the most beautiful name meaning? Freckled smile, it sometimes translates as, and I just adore it. Nothing can put a smile on your face. The name Lulua sounds so pretty, and freckled is just stunning. The next name is gender neutral really, but comes up on boy list when I was researching it, and it's named Cielo. So a really gorgeous name that literally translates as sky, but also heaven. So the name is the same in quite a lot of languages. I think the same in Sweden as well, because they always call the sky heaven, which is really beautiful. And I think when you're looking at, we say like, our children sometimes are sent from heaven, and it's just a really gorgeous meaning. And I love the look of the name, and it's totally unranked. So we would say Cielo in English, because we would use the Calica as an S, but I think in Spanish it would be more like Cielo, like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm getting this translations from Google. But it's a really historic name. I think that it comes back from religion as well, where she was called Maria de Cielo, which was Maria from the sky, for Virgin Mary and things like that. So it's a really historical name. It hasn't travelled maybe as well, Cielo, but I think it is gorgeous. Really works for me. The third name you'd have heard of, it ranks actually number 388, so quite low down, and it's the name Evangeline for girls. So it means the bringer of good news. And I just think if you've had any type of difficulties having a baby, or there's anything difficult in your family, a baby will really be a bringer of really good news. Gorgeous meaning, a beautiful name, beautiful long elegant girl name that's kind of classy and vintage vibes. Next up at 344 in the charts, gender neutral, the name Vesper. Vesper's gorgeous because it means evening, and specifically it sometimes comes up as meaning an evening prayer. And I think when you're sort of wishing for a baby, prayer is a really beautiful meaning to put into it, or you might be really religious, and Vesper is just such a cool name, so trendy, but with this beautiful meaning. So it's kind of got like elevated lunar vibes. So if you had a lunar and a Vesper, they sound really cool together, and I just absolutely love the meaning. I love it written on paper. I think it's really wearable because it's not dissimilar to Jasper. We love V names at the moment, so Vesper really works for me. Ranked at number 269, and again gender neutral, but more used for boys actually, is the name Lennon. So it's surname as first name vibes, but Lennon by itself actually means lover or my beloved. So I just think again a beautiful name meaning, which is kind of unexpected because the name is quite trendy, surname first name. Obviously everyone thinks of John Lennon, but I just think the name is really coming up through the ranks, but still quite unique, and the meaning just might really hit your heart because it really means your little lover, your little beloved one. Beautiful. At number 1397 in the UK charts is the name Sybil. So I really like the name Sybil. I really like it. I think it's a vintage gem, and I think in a sea of bells, a Sybil would be so cool. And the meaning is like an oracle or a prophetess, and I think it's got such whimsical vibes. You take it that way, Sybil, as somebody who sees the future, or maybe you've seen the future with your little baby and your vision. This beautiful little oracle. It's just got such cool vibes to be a Sybil. It would be so trendy. At 3,447 is the name Sachi. So it's a Japanese name that really works globally. So easy to say. I absolutely think it is so trendy at the moment, and it means child of joy, which I think says a million things to so many of us. I love the name Joy by itself. I would have a baby called Sachi Joy, just be very joyful about the whole business. But I just think it is so cool. I think it would be dead trendy. I think it's like a coming up Bodhi type of style, when that was quite like, ooh, Bodhi, but now it's on a lot of lists, and I think Sachi is one to list straight away. The next name is actually at 227. It's a feminine name that was one of our most popular rising of a couple of years ago, and it's the name Doer. So if you think about Dua Lipa, the singer, she sort of brought this more into the mainstream and really inspired it onto a lot of parents' name lists, Dua. But that short and sweet, ending in an A, really bang up to date version of like a Mia, which is beautiful, meaning mine. And Dua is beautiful because it means loved, but it also means prayer. And I think if you've really been praying and wishing for a child, it's a beautiful thing to put them together. Like, we really prayed for you, we really wanted you, our little Dua. And it's just a really gorgeous little trendy name. I'm sorry if you can hear drilling. I've stopped this video a million times because somebody's drilling outside, so I just have to carry on with it because I don't think they're going to stop. So for boys, how about the Hawaiian name again, Keone? So we all know kind of Keanu, which means cool breeze, beautiful, made famous by Keanu Reeves. But Keone is beautiful as well, and it literally translates as the sand. So I think it's so gorgeous because so many of us love the beach, want beachy, earthy vibes, and I've never come across Keone before, and I love it. I think it looks so beautiful on paper. I love the fact that it means sand. It just evokes so many happy times when you're by the beach, by the ocean. I think it's really wearable everywhere because those K's, like Koa, has really travelled lately as well. What do you think? And if you're Hawaiian, I read that Keone also translates as the homeland. I guess because they all live by the beach. I'm just such a bucket list place for me. I'm desperate to go. And only ranked number 2,843 is the name Vader. So I did do a whole Sanskrit baby name list because they've got gorgeous meanings as well, but Vader is really popular at the moment on some of your name lists, and it means knowledge, and I think it's a beautiful meaning. Like, you know, either you can take it as I really know you, or that they're somebody who's going to be very wise. If you have a little baby and you look at them and they feel like an old soul, Vader would really, really suit. I know there's Darth Vader. I know. I don't think of it. I really don't. But do you? I guess if you're a big Star Wars fan, but maybe it'll make you like it a bit more. For boys, Zion. This is getting quite popular, and it's really low down still. It's only at number 192, but it's coming up. So it's in a real sweet spot for so many people, and it means the highest point. So again, that really exalted high up, you know, you are my highest, my biggest pride and joy. I want to shout my baby's name from the rooftops. Zion really, really works for that type of feeling. So going over to Scandinavia now, how about the girl name Edda? So really trendy, because I think like Ed, like sort of like trendy, isn't it? Like Ed, it almost sounds sort of masculine, but a really cool alternative to like an Ada. And it's got two gorgeous meanings because it comes up as meaning poetry, but then it also comes up in Old Norse as meaning great grandmother. So if we're looking to honour a great grandmother, but you don't want to use their name, it's really beautiful to have a name that literally means great grandmother, Edda, and bring that into it. And I just love the sound of it. It's quite soft, maybe a bit soft, more softer than Ada. Not too sure, but what do you think about Edda? Then how about for boys the name Kayla? So this comes up as a masculine Hawaiian name, but I think it's gender neutral really, because it also sounds quite feminine to us. We have names similar to that, so that would be more feminine, Kayla. But I love that it means the path, and I think that really puts you onto this thought about the journey of life in a sort of more spiritual way, in the path that you're on, and this new motherhood path that you're going to be on. For going into having a baby for the first time, Kayla, but it also takes you sort of off the beaten path, and I think it's got a kind of wandery, kind of like, you know, wandering off the beaten path, going down little alleyways, kind of exploring vibes as well, Kayla, and I just love it written down. A Welsh name, I know everyone's desperate for me to do Welsh names, and I absolutely will, but I love this one, and it's the name Carawen. Carawen, and I think it is so beautiful, and it's made up of two Welsh names. We get it right. So Cered, which means poetry, and Gwen, which means fair. So she was the Welsh goddess of poetic inspiration. Yes, please, I want to be called Caradwen. I think it is so gorgeous. It's so romantic. It's almost kind of like medieval sounding, isn't it, Caradwen? I've always loved the name Gwen so much, and I just think this name really is a stunner, and I love it. Imagine being a muse to the poets or poetical inspiration. Just couldn't get more gorgeous. For boys, I have the name Carvey. So it's so trendy. It sounds, now I've just said it out loud, again, it sounds a bit like Harvey, but with the K, but I really think it looks so trendy written down. If you're after a short, sweet, but unique name for a little boy, then Carvey is really nice, and the emphasis is more on the V, so I probably said it more wrong then, so it should be more like Carvey, like that, Carvey, a bit more with the emphasis at the end of the sound. I really love it, and it means this mixture of kind of like, it almost means like sage, like somebody who was a very wise poet, so somebody you would go to for advice, who would be the wise person within the tribe, was the Carvey. So it's a really interesting name, and I can just imagine it as a sort of trendy middle spot, or as a first name for somebody after something really unique, and that meaning of just being kind of like a wise leader or just a very wise person is a gorgeous name meaning. So for girls, how about a name that literally translates as, right, so I'm going to tell you the name first. The name is Nayeli, and it literally translates as I love you. And it's unranked. I'm not joking. How beautiful. Nayeli meaning I love you, unranked. It's mind-blowingly beautiful. I just think it is so perfect. I was like, every time I search, I'm like, it does actually translate as I love you. I can't believe it. Just couldn't get better, could you? I just think it is such a beautiful name. And the last one I've done for a boy is the name Idris. So Idris, we know, is become a bit more mainstream because of Idris Elba, but I absolutely love, again, that it means prophet. Bit like a partner to a Sybil, so you can have an Idris and a Sybil, and they would both mean this kind of prophetess, this oracle, and I just really love that name meaning for a child, because I think we all see our children as either we've thought about them for so many years, a lot of us have planned to be parents and thought about them so much and that sort of idea, but also this idea that we learn from them and that they sort of lead us as well and lead those around us and become quite special. I think we all see that in our children as well. So those are my unique baby names with beautiful meanings. Sorry about the drilling. I got through it in the end. I was literally, every time I started, he would drill. So, if you would like to hear some more Hawaiian specific names and hear a bit about Hawaiian naming culture, then I'm going to film that video and it will be up on the Peanut app, where I have a community called Baby Name Envy. So the Peanut app has about 2.5 million women all over the world, mostly in the US and the UK, and it's kind of like a meetup app, it used to be, but now they have Peanut Pros, people like me on there, where we can give advice on a topic, and mine, of course, is potatoes, no, baby names. So you can go on there and become a baby name consultant within the Baby Name Envy consultancy and give advice to these 2.5 million women who are asking for names and ideas. So if you love names like me and you just want to get involved, you can be on there every single day answering their name dilemmas, and also you'll find the Hawaiian name list over there as well. I'm going to pop that up today. Lots of love, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Add a request below. Next up will be the vintage girls' names that are making a comeback right down the bottom of the chart. But I'm happy to do any more as well. Lots of love. Bye.